Some people are also bringing up Meg's past when she was, I believe, arrested for beating on her at the time boyfriend for cheating on her and having a baby when she was 19. I do not condone this behavior. Violence of any kind, whether the victim be male or female, is wrong. However, when we stockpile domestic violence between the two of them, we can chop this up to an isolated incident from Meg, whereas with Tory it seems as though it is a repeated behavior. Everyone is talking about it, so I'm just going to address it. Tory is short. With him fitting the average height and weight of a woman in America, he probably feels emasculated by it very often, and that's not me throwing shade. It's an observation, and it does tie into some of my future points. He probably feels like he has to consistently prove that he is still a man or masculine by adopting overly aggressive hypermasculine traits, but could also be linked to some form of childhood trauma that he hasn't shared publicly. I, however, feel as though it could be a bit of both. In his Before They Were Famous video, it is said that he was kicked out or suspended over 100 times for his behavior. Even though at the time this information didn't seem like a big deal, it can be considered the first warning signs and or red flags for his overly violent behavior and tendencies. Fast forward to sometime February 2019, Tory Lanez pulls up on famous Dax to force him to apologize over what seemed to be a diss track Dax made in response to Tory. It is unclear if Tory was armed or if he had people with him to jump Dax. However, he did seem as though he was going to cause some type of physical harm to Dax if he didn't apologize over something as simple as a diss track. Proves his violent and aggressive behavior and can react very over emotionally if someone does or says something he does not like. When looking up Tory Lane abuse, it seems as though something popped off with a woman named Selena Powell. However, to prevent this video from getting too long, I will not be going over it or any of its details, as well as an ex-girlfriend making abusive claims against him as well. Now, in July 2020, Meg the Stallion and Tory Lanez were leaving a pool party of some sort when the two started arguing. Meg finally had enough and decided to walk home. That is when Tory Lanez fired at Meg, shooting her in both heels, which means she couldn't walk anywhere. It is unclear why she ended up back in the car with him, but odds are it's because she couldn't walk, as well as police are constantly on patrol. One could have easily been nearby, heard the gunshots, and immediately fired off their sirens and rushed over. Along with being shot and hearing the sirens, Meg could have decided to get back in the car to evade police. It is also not uncommon for abusers to try and console their victims after any heinous acts. That is one thing to also keep in mind. Now, this is where I insert my 2 cents here. No one should shoot at someone who is unarmed and unable to defend themselves against any attack like that. As well as Meg trying to do the right thing by removing herself from the situation, Tory is in all honesty a bitch for shooting her. She was walking away, thus meaning she had her back turned to him. She was trying to defuse the situation, but he still took it way too far. If Tory saw it fit, he could have easily killed Meg right then and there, but people forget that and choose to make jokes about a tragic situation. This shines light on a much bigger issue of abuse and people constantly not believing Black women and their pain. Examples of people not believing Black women is everywhere. I mean, just look at the R. Kelly situation. He was able to get away with so much for, I believe, 2 decades. And part of it, we could just chop it up to his victims all being black women and no one wanting to believe them. As well as black women being 3 times more likely to die in childbirth simply because people do not believe our pain and we are painted out to be strong people. As well as the way people are dragging Meg is completely disgusting, and most of it has to do with because she is a black woman. Had Tory shot, say, Kylie Jenner, this would have came out way, 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 way differently. She has several connections. She is very much so powerful, and honestly, he would be in jail and his career would be over. It doesn't even need to be someone as powerful as Kylie Jenner. We could say any other famous white celebrity, maybe like Halsey. This man would be in jail. He would definitely not have a career anymore. So in conclusion, protect black women, not just when BLM is trending, but at all times. Thank you.